Hello and welcome back to the channel. Once again, it is I, Dr. Media, with your daily prescription fix of media goodness. So, today, this is going to be a little bit different than all of my other videos that I have done on this channel so far. At the beginning of 2016, I talked about what some of the changes for this channel would be. I wanted to still do the creative content, but I also started to do reviews and kind of talk about the media industry, the gaming industry, film, everything, like the whole shebang-a-bang. And you know, something has risen in me with seeing some of the things that are coming out in the gaming industry right now. I'm a little miffed. I'm a little ticked off, if you will, at some of the current things that are happening. One thing that I will say that most of you might not know is that I am not a platform loyalist. I will say that I am a huge Nintendo fanboy, and yes, I realize that the Wii U and the Wii have not really ever done anything kind of right. But I grew up Nintendo, so I will be a diehard Nintendo lover till the day I die. I don't think everything they do is right, but I just love the company. Even though I don't think they do everything right, I just love Nintendo. But that being said, is that for this current generation of gaming consoles, I am not a participant in this gaming in this gaming era. I was a huge 360 fan. I was also a huge PS3 fan, but it really came down to the games. And this generation, nothing has really pulled me to want to go plop my money down on a console, except until the last month, when I realized that they were bringing Ratchet & Clank, a redux, a reimagining, an HD reimagining of Ratchet & Clank to the PS4. So this sparked my nostalgia. This made me bust out my old PS2 and PS3 and play those classic Ratchet & Clank games. And they are marvelous. They are glorious. And the reason why I bring up the redux of the Ratchet & Clank game is because of another game that's coming out this month that is also a throwback to my childhood, a throwback to the times of yonder year of the first-person shooter. And that game, of course, I'm talking about, yes indeed, friends and fans and family, it is Doom 4, or better known now as just Doom from its reboot. So Doom kind of took this whole weird life. Like Doom 3, I did not like Doom 3. Doom 3 was not Doom to me, and I'll tell you why. It just did not have the feel of Doom. I felt that Doom 3 was trying so hard to be one of the modern shooters that all the kids are raving about now that it missed the core mechanics of what made Doom fun. With the new version of Doom, I'm starting to hear the trolls are coming out. If we had a bell, and maybe we'll get that for the channel, we'll get a troll bell to ring the bell when the trolls come out. Because the trolls are coming out from their little bridges, and they're like, I don't like Doom. The new Doom feels like Call of Duty and Halo. Okay, well, first of all, you're not smart. I'm going to tell you that. You're not smart. You're not smart at all. You can be smarter, but right now, you're not smart. And this is why. Because the reality of it is that Halo and Call of Duty, they are the grand descendants of Doom. So it doesn't make sense to me. And I don't mean it in the fact that they copied Doom. I'm saying that they borrow, especially Halo. Halo truly borrows from Doom. The whole Space Marine thing, all that stuff really borrows from Doom. Now, I will say that the guys over at Bungie with Halo, they did a lot more to flesh out a full story for Master Chief to try to make you care about him, at least for me. And that really didn't happen until the third Halo game, because in the second Halo game, I thought that Master Chief was a robot. I didn't know it was a person inside of a suit. So I really didn't care. I was just shooting things. And I will tell you, one of the reasons why I was not a huge a huge Halo player in the beginning is that for me it wasn't Doom. Some of the games that I love from that era, from the 90s era, is Doom. I really loved Unreal Tournament, and I was a huge Quake player. So those arena-based battle games are something special to me. And modern multiplayer games are not those games. So for me to see somebody make the comparison of Doom being like a Call of Duty or whatever clone, that's not really what it is. Now, some people are going to argue. They're going to say, "Well, but Dr. Media, Doom now has loadouts." Okay, so what? So what? It's kind of the same argument of Halo. Halo has Marines, but it's more of a story-driven combat game than it is just going around shooting things. So what? I think that the new loadout system in Doom, do I love it? No, I don't completely love it, but I don't think that's a game breaker where it's like, oh my god, it's broken the game. The game sucks because it has loadouts now. I think it was a way for the developers to balance some things, because with anyone that's played those arena style shooters from the mid 90s know that it came down to who could get the rocket launcher first. And now with what they're doing with the loadouts, it makes it not as much about running to get that, but really doing the running gun of playing the level. One thing that I will say, and the other thing I know some people are complaining about, are the executions. So like the characters inside of Doom now glow blue and they glow orange to tell you when the execution is about to happen, and you can go execute. There were executions in the original Doom. They didn't blink or glow. But one thing I will say in the defense of id Software is that they've actually made that a feature. From what I see in the menus playing the beta, that's a feature you can turn off. So if you don't want that, you can turn that off. So if that's your deal breaker, then get over yourself, right? The other thing is probably the one thing that I will say. Now, I'm not going to make this I'm trying to keep these videos to be very very objective, because I don't want it to be subjective to my experience. I want it to be objective to anyone that watches my videos or listens to my videos, that it makes sense. So one thing that I will say, that if people want to argue that does not feel like Doom, is kind of the slow motion weapon change menu. One of the things about Doom that made Doom just fantastic when it first came out was the fact that you're running around, you had to look at your ammo, you had to conserve ammo, you couldn't aim up, there was no up, you couldn't aim, there was no vertical axis to aim on. You basically, only thing you had was, basically pan your camera left and right. That's all Doom was. And you ran around opening doors and shooting crap that was on the other side of the door until it was all dead. That was awesome. Now, I will say that the whole slowdown thing for switching your weapons, I'm not a fan of that. Hopefully, id Software will listen to some of the fans and they'll make that a feature you can turn off. Maybe for like a really truly hardcore mode, you can turn off the slow-mo weapon switch menu thing, because to me that's the only thing that kind of breaks up gameplay right now. Everything else feels good. The weapons feel weighty, the gameplay feels speedy. I don't feel like it's slowed down. I like the movement. I like some of the tight corridors that they're doing. No, these are not Romero levels. No, they're not those levels. But when you really think about Doom, people talk about, they love the level design of Doom. Doom had this fantastic level design. Well, realistically, did it really have this truly innovative level design? Yes and no. There's parts of Doom where most of it is you're in a lot of corridors. It's corridor. It's a maze. It's a gigantic labyrinth, which is fine, because when you think about that from the perspective of a gamer, the labyrinth idea makes complete sense. It was very tight corners. Some of it was jump scares, because watching some videos, like some of the React videos, I've seen those videos of people playing like classic Doom, and they still get jumpy. I mean, this game's like 20-something years old. The graphics are not that great, but when you go down on a lift and you hear that iconic sound of the lift going down, and you get down there and it's a pit of demons, sometimes you jump, right? It was those things in the gameplay, that fast-paced movement, that always having to stay on the move. It wasn't this whole thing of, I'm gonna just stand here in one spot or camp out and just shoot stuff. And for me, that's what modern multiplayer has become. It's become people finding out where the spawn points are at, camping out at the spawn point, and just continually shooting people and saying, "I'm better than you." That's not fun to me. That's not fun. What they're doing with Doom is fun to me. Like I said, I love games like Doom. I love games like Unreal Tournament. Unreal Tournament was great up until it got to Unreal Tournament 3. Unreal Tournament 3 was not fun to me. It was technically beautiful. It looked really good. The graphical aesthetic of the game was fantastic, but the gameplay, it just felt like a reskinned Gears of War. And I think maybe that was the problem that happened with Unreal when Unreal 3 came out, is because Gears of War had just came out and they were starting a brand new IP, and the look of the characters it just felt like Gears of War Tournament, basically. So it really had no appeal. But you know, I really want people to not be hating on Doom, not because I love it, but because give it a fair chance. Don't sit and compare it to games that there really is no comparison to those other games. Yes, there's loadouts like modern FPSs in it. Yes, there's executions. Yes, those things are in there. But those games don't have double jumps. Doom does, because it's a more arcadey type of shooter. It has double jumps. Some people have also argued, well, there's no weapon pickups. And if you look in the video that's playing behind here, and this video comes from actually from id Software themselves. This is from the closed beta, from some of the closed beta stuff, and from some of the stuff at E3 that they showed off. If you look at that, you will notice that in the multiplayer, there are freaking pickups of weapons and health and armor. Those are the things that made the whole Doom experience very frantic, because you had armor, you had to manage resources. That was and I think that's one thing that's missing from modern shooters when it comes to FPS, because now you get shot, you back off somewhere, wait for your health to regenerate, and you come back out guns blazing. Well, in Doom and in Unreal Tournament, those games like that, you didn't have that option. You had to actually go find more health. You had to go find more armor. You didn't reload your weapon. There was no reloading. You just went and got more ammo and just kept firing your freaking weapon, which is bad freaking ass. Like, those are the things that are cool. So quit comparing them. I think, you know, there comes a point, yes, they both are FPSs, but there's not this correlation between the two pieces of the genre. The other thing that, you know, that I will say, and I'm going to say that as we get into more videos on this channel, is that for me, I have spent almost 15 years of my career within the video movie industry as a special effect artist and as a 3D modeler and as a compositor and as a colorist and just tons of stuff in the film world. But I've also spent time in the gaming world. So for me, I'm not just blatantly looking at some of the things that they're doing and saying, oh, well, they just hate gamers. You know, sometimes you take risks. Sometimes you have to go out there and take a chance on a new IP, or take a chance and bringing new gameplay mechanics. You know, I think a lot of what id is doing right now with Doom is that they're trying to appease hardcore fans of Doom, but they're also trying to bring in a brand new community of new players, because that's what it's all about. The reality of it is, it's about being fun, engaging gameplay for everybody. I don't want something, you know, it's kind of like if you look at like what they've done with and this is kind of an offshoot, and this is how these videos are going to be, but it's kind of an offshoot. It's kind of like when you look at the Marvel movies, you know, as a diehard Marvel fan, some of the movies get things right, some of it gets wrong. And that's only because I'm taking it from the comic book itself. But overall, the experience for most people is pleasurable, except for Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron should not be pleasurable for anybody. I'm sorry, Marvel. You pooped. You pooped on that one. You pooped on Age of Ultron. And oh, God. Anyway, the thing about it is that give Doom a chance. Look at it for what it is. Don't sit there comparing it to the other stuff. Give it a chance. Look at it. And then formulate your own decisions. I would love to hear what you all have to say in the comments, so leave comments down below. And also, if you like what we're doing here on the Phoenix Inception channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We will soon be adding a brand new Patreon account and other things. So if you like what like what we're doing with the actual learning content and the review content, then subscribe, give to the Patreon, and we will catch you next time here, fellow mutants. Once again, I am signing off. I am Dr. Media with your daily media prescription fix.